It's time to be brave because it is already starting. There was a bill that's being introduced into Congress, and this is under the guise of women's health care. It's like, if you watch my previous videos, it's exactly what I said was going to happen if Trump got through and Project 2025 was implemented, and so it's scary. I was hoping that I was exaggerating, um, but I also kind of knew I wasn't because I grew up in this world and I understand it. So this bill says that women's health care should target the needs of women, men, and their families. So what this phrasing, people are probably confused, like, what do you mean men and their families? Well, their ultimate goal is going to be, from what I believe and how I was raised, is that men would need to sign off if women can or cannot use birth control, and that men would be able to make that decision. They're going to say it's unfair for men not to be able to have as many kids as they want, and that it's safer for women to have men protect them, and it's safer for the family if they're to think as a unit. This is also going to translate into household voting, meaning that men will be the only ones to vote in an effort to protect the women, protect the marriage, protect family. Also in this bill, it states, and again, this bill isn't stating that men are going to have to sign off on birth control, but like the phrasing, I believe, is what's leading there. Then it's going on to state in this bill that they want to make pregnancy centers basically like the law of the land and have them for women to go to, and kind of get rid of like Planned Parenthood and hospitals, and women can just go to these pregnancy centers. Now, I volunteered at pregnancy centers. My mom has been a lifelong volunteer at pregnancy centers, and I will say, like, some of what they do is really good. The one I volunteered at had so much like free clothes for people, free cribs, pumping stuff, all of those types of things. But they also can be very, very dangerous. For example, a lot of times the counselors are not licensed in counseling, and so they do not have any idea how to deal with abusive situations or helping women make the best decision for themselves. And these pregnancy centers operate under the assumption that abortion is wrong in every single case, that it is unaliving another human. And so even if it's in the best interest of a woman to get an abortion, they will still not tell her that, and they will go to the very end. Even if you came in and you're like, my partner that I was with, my ex, wants to unalive me. If I have this child, I could very well be unalived because it will tether us forever. I'm not going to be able to escape. And then even if I do escape, he could like call the cops on me for kidnapping our child. I need an abortion. They would say, no, you have to stay with the men and God will work it out. And so it is incredibly dangerous to only have religious spaces for women to get their health care, because the goal of the pregnancy centers is based on religion. It's not based on the actual best health care and outcome of the woman. It's based on a religious premise. And so that's very terrifying. I wouldn't want to go to any space that had a religious goal in mind versus my own health care for health care. It's starting, but we know how to deal with this. We can be brave. We can beat them.